Of course the slaves suffered more than Jesus did. I can't believe this is even a discussion. Show me where they skinned Jesus and used his skin for belts and purses. Show me where they used Jesus's hair to stuff pillows. Show me where they used Jesus's teeth for dentures. Show me where Jesus had his manhood cut off. Show me where they shit in Jesus's mouth. I'll wait. Everything that I listed was done to enslaved people. And those are just the horrors of slavery that we are aware of, the horrors that were documented. There are far worse things, unspeakable things, that were done to the slaves that was not documented. And all of that didn't happen over a couple of hours or a couple of days, which is how long it took for Jesus to go through the whole death and rising shit. 3 days. The enslaved people endured the horrors of slavery for hundreds of years. And let's not forget how they were treated after they were freed. To say that some dude who suffered for a couple of hours, died, and then rose back up, suffered more than the enslaved people is not only extremely ignorant, it's also disrespectful as fuck to our ancestors that had to endure the shit. It's because of their sacrifice that I'm able to get on this internet and tell y'all about this shit. We don't even have concrete proof that this Jesus dude even existed, and people are saying that he suffered more than real people who have real documentation and real proof of being on this earth and suffering the way that they did. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I know the indoctrination runs deep, but we can't be this dense.
Horrifying facts about slavery they don't teach in school. Number one, they used to make leather out of old slaves who were not capable of any labor, dragged through mud. Stripped skin transformed into luxury leather shoes, belts, which was sold to the monarchs of Great Britain, and it was done behind closed doors so the planters could protect their reputation. You see these shoes? This was someone's pops. Number two, they drove young men into the tobacco fields where the heavy, wet leaves clung to their skin, releasing nicotine that slowly bled into their bodies, which led to genetic mutations, causing frequent strokes and hyperactivity, and reducing life expectancy of a black person from 105 to 51 years. And what it did to them didn't end with them. These genetic changes were passed down through generations with every mating. Number three, during the Middle Passage, dead and sick slaves who remained ill for more than 20 days were thrown overboard. 2 million dead at sea. Sharks followed the slave ships. They learned the route, fed a steady stream of corpses. Many were eaten alive. The greatest forced migration in human history. The journey that built the Americas on the backs of the enslaved. The Middle Passage destroys languages, cultures, families, identities.
All right, so I made a video yesterday saying, hey man, the slaves suffered more than Jesus did, right? And people are mad. Cool, be mad. You have the right to be mad, right? But what we're not gonna do is downplay what my ancestors went through. How can it be a true sacrifice if you quote unquote died, right? Came back to life for 3 days, walked on earth for 40 more days, to show yourself to your followers and be around people, and then you ascend to heaven. It's not even, you never really died like that. You didn't. It was God's plan to resurrect him. So it was pointless. It didn't do nothing. And also sin is still here. People are still here, disconnected from God, whatever, through sin. It didn't work. It was pointless. So then we go to slavery, right? Where my people went through hell.
At this point, everybody should know I'm not religious. I'm not religious at all. Whatever you believe is what you want to believe, and that's perfectly fine. You should have the right to do that. However, the conversation now is people saying that slaves suffered more than Jesus. Like, slaves in America suffered more than Jesus. I'm not sure why this conversation even came about, but the people who are saying that the slaves suffered more than Jesus are right. Because all we've all been taught, right? All we've all been taught since the beginning of our time is that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. That's what they tell you, right? And they say it over and over and over and over again. You don't even have to go look it up. Motherfucker, just tell you that to your face. You know why they won't tell you what really went down in slavery? You want to know the real reason why they won't tell you why? Because it's fucking horrific. Horror movies couldn't even be made to document the type of shit that went on in slavery. Now somebody be like, you weren't there, you don't know. Just like with Jesus, you got to do your research, right? You have to, just because if you say I wasn't there, I don't know, Well, shit, you got to go do your research, because you've never personally seen Jesus, right? I've never personally seen a black slave. But there's research in this documentation that could show you exactly what went down, or at least could give you an idea of exactly what went down. You know where the term gator bait came from? They would literally use black slave children as bait to hunt gators. They'd cut the baby on the leg or the arm, baby, wilding and howling and shit on the swamp. Gator would come out of nowhere, bite the baby, they grab the gator, kill the gator. Now they eating gators. Gator bait. You never hear stories of Jesus getting sexually assaulted. You never hear stories of Jesus getting his head cut off. You never hear stories of Jesus being tarred and feathered, ripped apart from each limb. You tie one limb to a different horse in a different direction and beat the horse until they run in that direction, effectively ripping that person apart. You never heard stories of that when it comes to Jesus. It's so crazy that if you were to research it a little bit, it would sound as though the slave masters at the time were literally making the shit up as they go. That's how crazy. You know, no, I want to see, I want to push him off the top of the house and see what happens. And then I want to put his kids and this woman who he thinks is his wife, we're going to put them right there so they can watch this shit happen in real time. We're going to traumatize them. No, I want to stick a knife in his ass, turn it sideways, pull it out, stick the knife in his mouth, and then have all the slaves watch me do this shit. I'm gonna take this big slave motherfucker, bend him over, and do sexual shit to him while all the other slaves watch me and the other overseers do the shit. You didn't hear anything like that when it came to Jesus, big dog. So again, I don't know why this conversation even came out. I don't know who originated it. But the fact of the matter is this: yes, American slaves went through more bullshit than Jesus. I'm sorry, if you Christian, you may not want to hear this shit, but it's the truth.
Redemption songs. Redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can ease our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophet? Why waste our luck? Some say it was, yes, I said it was a part of it. We gotta fulfill the book. Won't you hear me sing?